to my channel. Uh, if you're here, my name is Becky, and I come here every week to plan with you live, in addition to doing other things now that I have started my YouTube channel. So welcome. Thank you for joining me right now. Um, I very much appreciate it. I want to make sure that I am actually live. The YouTube studio is not showing it, so let me see. There we go. Pull up the live video here. Okay, I have it on my screen now, so I can make sure that I can respond if you guys leave comments. I want to make sure that I'm able to do that. If you're not familiar, there's a screen in YouTube Studio that shows when you set up a plan with me or any type of live stream ahead of time. There's a screen that shows or is supposed to show your live stream. And for whatever reason, it's not working today. So we're just going to go without it. Welcome to my plan with me for week 37. We have got a fun week to plan. I am going to use this really cute PET tape. I like to change things up every once in a while. I don't always want to have just emojis. Sometimes I like to do regular washi. Sometimes I'll do PET tape. And so this week we are going to do a PET tape. And I don't have any late night events this week, so PET tape should be good to go. I'm going to put it a little bit earlier to encourage myself to do that that reading that I want to do at the end of every day. So we are going to put it right at 9 o'clock. And I'm actually it here. PET tape has a clear backing. So you're going to need to cut it, unlike washi where you can kind of slice it with unlike washi where you can slice it with a ruler, hold the ruler up to get that cut. You're not going to be able to do that with PET tape. And so I'm going to do this first one here. So I'm going to do these one at a time. Sometimes I cut them both at the same time, but today we're not going to do that. I have seen they make these super cute little mats that you can stick sticker on and it'll hold on to the back. I would love to have one of those sometime. But that is not in my current kit. So here we go. I'm going to put that there right at 9 o'clock. Again, I've got a habit I'm trying to get in place of kind of slowing down for the evening at 9. And a week when I don't have events going on is a great week to kind of start trying that out. Put it right here. Okay, I love this this tape. It's got little sparkles in it. I got this off of Amazon. It came as part of a set, and they are very cute. I use them a lot of the time. Um, I have actually linked that in the description for you guys, so that you could have that washi tape if you would like. I also linked the 4 Tombows that I got out to use today. So we're going to add those um, color numbers over here. And I'm actually going to scroll down to my description. I thought I had a description. Goodness. Huh. Okay. I guess maybe I did not. Well, you will. I thought I had created a description. Um, it doesn't look like I'm on the right stream. So hopefully you are able to find me. Hi, Teresa. Good. I'm glad somebody was able to find me. Oh, I'm so glad you're using all the washi that you have. I do that too. I have way too much. I realized about a year into my washi collection, um, or collecting, that I would never use all of my washi in my lifetime. These are definitely going to end up going to my kids or someone else because I have so many. Oh, I'm so glad you followed with the notifications. That's awesome. I had set up a live stream on here and I had a nice cover for it and everything. And I think that when I went live on my mobile device, I didn't use the right thing. So that's all right. I'm still learning this whole YouTube thing, so we'll get it worked out eventually. I'm gonna put a little swatch of each of these Tombow colors down here. And then we will add their numbers. So I know this is 991. This is one of my favorite. I use it all the time, which is really interesting for me because I don't like yellow, but I end up using this particular Tombow marker so often that almost all of the white has come off of it, just from normal use. So that is 991. We have 992. Is this one? 977. And 925. All right, so those are the colors that I'm using today. I think they coordinate really, really well with this washi. I like that the orange is going to kind of pick up the orange here in those leaves. And the yellow from the glow of the lanterns. And then these 2 different browns. Should be a really nice look for this week. So let's find something to go here in this corner. I'm going to start because again, in my description, I said the leaves are starting to change here a little bit. The weather's starting to get a little cooler. Oh, I'm glad the live seems to be working well on your end. I feel so nervous when I'm doing this live. um, anyway, since I'm going with a kind of fall themed tape with the color changing leaves, I'm going to actually start by looking at my fall collection. I tend to do my fall themed leaves in, or fall themed pages in September. And then that way I have October for all things Halloween, because 1 week is just not enough for me for Halloween. So I've got a bunch of different Halloween things I want to use. It gives me an opportunity to use more of my uh, Halloween washi. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been quite a whirlwind getting used to having a channel. That's kind of cute. I like that one. Keep that out. These are little sticker samplers that I got from Green Darner Designs, and they're by month. And so I just kind of keep all of them for uh, fall in one area, all of them for spring in an area. This one's cute too, but I don't think, see, this picks up more of those reds and rust colors, and we're going more for the yellows and the oranges. So August is kind of one of those months where they're undecided on whether it's summer or fall, and this is their August collection. And then we do have, ooh, that's pretty. Getting into October here. I like to look through these for these full boxes sometimes to go here in the corner. Now that I'm doing a uh, now that I'm in a B6, these boxes don't quite fit. When I was in the A5, they fit really, really well. So I think whichever box I choose, I'm probably going to cut it down a little bit. If I decide to go with one right now, I'm really leaning towards this one. Let's take a look at what September has to offer. I think these are all really Halloween-y. I'm very much team use, so I'm always glad to hear that you are using up your stationery, because it's my favorite thing to do. I love being able to look back and see all of the stationery in my books being used. All right, so where do we want to cut this off? I'm going to say right along the side of this person here. Now, I do not have blonde hair, but this doesn't necessarily have to represent me, right? All right. There we go. That'll fit. And then, of course, whenever I have an extra strip of something, it goes into this washi graveyard here in the back. I call it the washi graveyard, but it really is stickers and washi and all kinds of little things, little tidbits that end up back here. So we'll just stick that there, and it'll add to this lovely decor page. I think I'm going to put this, I'm going to use this coordinating box over here. I'm going to put it down at the bottom of the page because I want to indicate this is, actually redo that just a little bit, get that recentered. This is opening weekend of the Ren Fair here in town. And so I'm going to note that down here. I don't know that we're going to go for opening weekend. This is a new to us. It's driving me nuts that that's not aligned. This is a new to us Ren Fair. There we go. And I am not sure if it's something that we're going to attend or not. Um, well, I know we'll attend it, but I don't know if opening weekend is something we're going to want to do or not. I will put in my per meal planning. We're usually down to 5:30. So I still have plenty of room for my meal planning. I could be fussy with this and do this with a ruler, but I really don't worry that much about being perfect with that. We're going to look in here and see what kind of, oh, look at that. I really like that kind of with the orangey color to it. Uh, oh, this is the binder, the new binder from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I try and keep my stickers that I pull from every week here. So, and then I try, it doesn't line up exactly, so I try and get Thursday because it's in the middle of the week, kind of in the middle of that middle block. And that way everything is at least close to accurate. Um, I don't know if it really helps or not, but I think I'm going to put this bright orange here and the light beige to just kind of make that week pop. I am in a Sterling Ink B6 right now. What do you plan in? What's your planner of choice right now? Um, I'm always curious. I love the Coffee Monsters Co. stationery items are so cute. I've actually been following her for quite a few years and have really stocked up. I was lucky enough to find her um, when I first started using stickers in my planner. So for a long time, I planned without stickers and just did markers and pen. And when I got, when I decided I wanted to get into stickers, that was a very slippery slope. I started by adding a few Coffee Monster Co stickers here and there, and it was great, great fun. And then I ended up leaving a bullet journal. I was still in a bullet journal back then. I ended up leaving the bullet journal and ended up into a Hobonichi for my first time ever. And I loved the Hobonichi. It was great, but the colors were a bit distracting for me. And the all of the Japanese sayings and things like that, since I don't read Japanese, were kind of wasted on me. And so I transitioned from that to Sterling Ink. And I've been in Sterling Ink. I was in the Hobonichi for a couple of years, and then I found Sterling Ink, and I've been in Sterling Ink for a few years. Um, and over that time, my Coffee Monsters Co. collection has really, really expanded. I always feel so bad for the new people that come into the community and that feel like they're missing out on things. Because I had that feeling too when I got into the community. I started looking at all the washi that had come before. The people were posting that they were using washi, and I only had a couple rolls. And I felt such a fear of missing out. And now I have so many wonderful washi rolls. She's constantly releasing new stuff. She re-releases newer versions of her old stuff. And you build up a collection quite quickly. Uh, so that fear of missing out is very real, and I totally understand it. But eventually, give it a couple of years, and you will have more washi than you know what to do with. So um, that's my little soapbox statement on the whole fear of missing out in the washi community. Uh, I feel so bad because I know new people to the community are always they always feel like they're gonna miss everything. Oh, the Kinbor dailies. You're in the Kinbor. Oh, how interesting. I have seen that. Um, does the Kinbor still have the weeklies in it as well, like this vertical spread? I'm curious. Yeah, I have heard the paper is awesome. Um, I've been very fortunate with my Sanson Tomoa River paper this year in this sterling ink. I haven't really had any problems. I say that now, of course, I'm going to hit a bad page like next week or something. But I have been very, very fortunate to not have issues with my Tomoa River paper this year. I know not everybody has been so fortunate, so I try to be, not so vocal about the fact that my paper's been great. I'm glad your paper is awesome too, Teresa. That's fantastic. Um, all right. I need to get in some job search. I don't know if you had a chance to watch at all, but I created this little uh, plan for myself for the week for job hunting and for adding in my wellness because my wellness didn't work last week. Look at this. This is terrible. I made it to the gym one day. I didn't get on the walking pad at all. This morning thing just did not work well for me. And the hypnosis and meditation at lunch also didn't work. I just could not get in that groove. Yeah, see, the no weeklies thing, I think that would throw me off because I really love these weeklies. Um, so let's see. Since that threw me off, I need to figure out how I'm going to get that in to this week. And I think I'm going to plan backwards. Usually I like to do my big middle of the day plan first, but I think I'm going to plan my evenings first this week. And let's do those in the orange. And that way I'll kind of know where the time that I have already committed is. All right. So we have got date night, and I have a conversation at 4. My friend Kim. And on Friday at 4:30, conversation with my friend Dana. I would love to say that we're not going to take a full hour, but we usually go longer than that. You have a soft cover Leuchtturm horizontal weekly. Ooh. Oh, that's neat. I really do like the Leustrums. That's what I bullet journaled in for years. And I think I still have a couple blank ones hiding in my notebook cupboard. Um, but I have not seen their horizontal weeklies. Do they have that same size grid that they have in the regular bullet journals? Um, like a dot grid? Or that's a little bit larger in size than these Japanese style planners. I'm curious. I do like the Lystrom. I also get quite a few Archer and Olive for other projects, not for my planner, but to use for other things. Um, and I do really enjoy those. All right, let's see. We need to put in over here. We're on 6. That feels so late when it's butting up against the washi. Having this washi up a little bit, this is an hour earlier than I normally put it, is kind of throwing me off a little bit. Uh, I feel like my night got really, really shortened here. This is going to be dinner and groceries. And I know that it has to go here because we have a Colts game. My partner is a big Colts fan, grew up in Indiana, and he will be wanting to watch the Colts. So I usually black out about 3 hours for football, and then I'll usually just write down the side here that that's what it is, or somewhere off to the edge. Uh, Sometimes I'll write it here in the middle, but once I start to get used to it, I'll write it off to the edge so that I can plan something for myself over that time, because I'm not going to be watching football. He'll be watching football, so I need to make sure I'm not planning anything else for us to do together. And then I think I will put in here at 9 o'clock again. A plan with me. We'll do this live again next week. So when I used to have a bullet journal, I would do a little weekly spread. It didn't have the timeline. And that was the thing I ended up liking the most when I got into the Japanese style planners, is these timelines and being able to time block here. I do have kind of a time block going on my Google Calendar. I like to time block there, but just being able to write it out on paper really helps me think through where I want to be spending my time. I am going to also add in so I know I said that the gym in the morning didn't work, and that is accurate. It did not. That is not what I'm putting in here. I'm going to put in my coffee. So what I enjoyed doing in the mornings was having coffee outside on our balcony And it's nice outside right now. Um, and just doing a little bit of reading. So I'm going to put that in. That's what we're going to do in the mornings this week. And now after that, I'm going to put in a block here for my job hunting. And I'll make that a full 4 hours. And the different color comes into play because when I was working, I would always keep a work color separate. Look at that. There's a little anomaly in the paper. Huh. Looks like I got some oil or something on the paper. I used to keep my work color separate so that I could see my work block very, very clearly. And I knew that that time was taken up for work. And so I'm just carrying that thought process over into the job search. So this is going to be when I do my job hunt. We'll write that in. You know how you get people that will call you for an interview and they ask when you're available, and when you're not working, it's so easy to just be like, "Oh, I'm available anytime." Um, but I think that kind of freaks them out. And so it's nice to actually have a little block where you can say, well, I'm available on Wednesday from 8 till noon. Um, does, does that work for you guys? If not, maybe Thursday. Um, I actually think that that's been helping in the job hunt because it feels like I've got stuff going on. There we go. All right. I do want to kind of softly add in maybe let's do it from 2. We're going to use this kind of softer color. We're going to go from 2 to 4. Oopsie. Went a little bit long on that. So we'll just move that up and I'll come white that out in a minute. So from 2 to 4, I am working on doing some writing. I have a novel in progress. I think a lot of people do. Thanks so much, Teresa. I'm hoping I get a job that I enjoy going to. I didn't, my last job was very nice. Everybody I worked with was very nice. I didn't love the job itself. It was very repetitive, and that kind of got to me a little bit. I'm going to write in here that, so I'm hoping that I can find something that's got some more creativity to it. I have a novel in progress that I've been working on for a long time. It's actually what got me into architecture school at 40. And um, and I've made a lot more progress on it recently. So this will be my block for doing writing and YouTube. I actually already did my video for tomorrow for YouTube. So it is already uploaded and scheduled and ready to go for you guys. It's a fairly quick one. I did a video on customizing my channel and specifically a page that I didn't really know existed. So that's going to be uploaded tomorrow. So I've got writing in YouTube. I've got my job search. I should go to the gym, and let's say that we're going to do that on these 2 days. Not a big lunch person, so this will, I'm not worried about getting in the way of lunch. But let's see if we can't make it to the gym twice this week. There we go. I think that I'm going to start this little block down here at 9, where I kind of shut down and read. I'm going to start that by doing my meditation or hypnosis at 9. So I'm actually going to put that onto my task list instead of here. Now I do have that here on this list as well. And I'm okay duplicating it this week. So I keep this Alistair task list here, and we're going to do hypnosis on the Monday, starting on the Monday. So let's put that on those days, and we'll put the meditation on the opposite days. I'm not sure if the hypnosis is working yet. Oh, the Leuchtturm is 5 millimeters. Okay. Nice. I'm not sure about the hypnosis working yet. I am really only less than a dozen sessions in so far. But I guess it's doing, I'm not sure if it's correlated, but I have lost a little bit of weight in the last couple of weeks. My stress level has gone down, obviously, from not working. So my stress level's been a little bit lower. So I don't want to automatically attribute that to hypnosis. But I'm using the Hypnosio app is what I'm using. I've lost a couple pounds, but I can't really say what it's from yet. So I do enjoy it as a process. It's relaxing. So I'm going to put meditation, and while I'm thinking of it, I am also going to put that I want to read meditations. And we're still in book 6. I am discussing this with a friend of mine each week. Oops, book number 6, and so I usually write at the bottom of the page. There we go. Book 6. We are doing 47 to 56 this time. We started off reading only 2. only two of the individual little pieces per week. And then we realized that it was going to take us like a decade to get through the book. We were having such great discussions around what we were reading, um, but it was taking us so long to make any progress. And so we started adding more uh, more to our weekly readings. Oh, you're doing intermittent fasting. I did that a lot when I did keto, and then when I did carnivore, I just did one meal a day. Um, hey there, Keisha. Nice to see you. Um, I did intermittent fasting when I did when I did keto, and then when I did carnivore, I only ate one meal a day, and so I really have a hard time eating multiple times a day now because I got so used to that. um, it was a bit crazy. All right, let's see. Um, I can cross off that I've done those, and I bought a lottery ticket yesterday. I haven't checked my lottery ticket yet. Um, I had I went to bed right before I went last night. Right before I went to bed last night, I saw something up on my news feed that the winning ticket was, or there were two winning tickets in Texas and Missouri, and I live in Missouri and purchased a ticket in Missouri. So I'm very anxious to check my lottery tickets today. That'll be fun. Who knows? I might have won. I don't buy lottery all the time, but when the jackpot gets to these ridiculous amounts, I do. So, uh, how many fountain pens I have inked currently? Um, I have currently got these four inked. Some others have ink, but it may or may not be dry. um, this this one stays pretty wet forever. This one I actually think I need to add a little ink to. And this one I just got, so it's got ink in it from being new. This is that Ferris wheel press Lord of the Rings one. I did the unboxing here. Happy Sunday to you too, Keisha. Um, this Pilot, I love this pen. This is really one of my favorite pens to write with. I originally inked it with a decorative ink, but I think I might switch to having this have my document ink so I can use it more often because I love it. And this pen just stays inked very, very well. It's holding its ink well. Um, so I don't write with it very often, but it's got ink in it. It's currently got a Quantum Teal by Birmingham Pen Company, which is a fun, bright, shimmery. It's as fun as this pen. So that's what I'm currently inked in. Um, I got both of these pens at the St. Louis Pen Show that happened recently. It was my first ever pen show. Um, I didn't even know such a thing existed. It was crazy and big and um, lots of activity. I totally didn't plan to buy anything, but I look at me. I ended up with something. So, um, all right. So I think that's everything on there. Let's get back to our week here. What else have we got going on that we need to get in here? I usually add in the weather, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me move my little weather app over so I can see everything. Looks like it's going to be a really nice week. We're going to get a little bit warm again, but I love the warm weather. Um, So if it can stay around a little bit longer, I know winter's coming too fast, so. But we are going to be in the 80s and 90s all week. For me, that is just perfect. And no rain in the forecast. It hasn't rained here in quite a while. We had a little sprinkle the other day, and that was it. Starting to realize I am not very good at talking and looking and writing all at the same time. My brain is overloaded. Oh, Teresa, you should totally look for a pen show in your area. I had no idea they existed, and it was so much fun. And if you go, bring your book, bring your Kinbor. Um, yep, Keisha, you should try one too. Um, definitely. And if you go, bring your planner, um, because when I went, let me grab that book real quick, and I'll show you. This was so much fun. Um, they had a table with all of these pens inked up. They had like 600 pens that were all inked with different inks so that you could try them all. And this is just a small assortment. But I got to try, a whole bunch. I got to try all the Sailor 50 States inks, and a whole bunch of different inks from Robert Oster and Diatramentis. Some of my favorites, some Noodlers. I don't actually have any Noodlers inks, um, or Pannonia inks. And so this was one of the neatest things to be able to just go and try out all of these pens. They were all in just little cheap pen sampler uh, sampler pens. So, I don't know what nib size or anything like that it was. You couldn't put them in your own pen, but just to get to try all of these different colors. One of the things that I found really interesting is I've always had trouble finding a really good yellow that you can see. And there were a couple of really nice yellows that were really solid colors. Even this Iowa, the 50 states Iowa was nice. Uh, but yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely used to agree with that. I saw and tried a Mont Blanc pen when I was at the pen show. Now I am still in the camp that I will probably never own a Mont Blanc, but it is amazing how your perspective changes as you use it. And when I got home and I told my partner I used like an $8,000 pen, he was like, "Oh my gosh, are you going to get an $8,000 pen?" And I said, "No, I liked it, but I liked it about, I like my other pens about 98% as well." And so yeah. Um, now this is not my ink collection, Keisha. This was an ink. They had all of these inks available on a table with little sample pens. Um, but yeah, I tried the Mont Blanc and I was like, I like it about 2% better than like my Pilot Vanishing Point or Decimo. Now I tried the Vanishing Point, and the Vanishing Point was too big of a pen for me, and this Decimo is just perfect. Um, so yeah, it it was nice to go and try things in person and be able to just kind of play. Um, but yeah, this uh, these are other people's inks that I got the opportunity to try, and then I did meet some people. Um, and go to a pen meetup, and I got to try a few others. I met the guy who did the all of the artwork for Sailor for their 50 States collection. That was neat. Oh, Teresa, we're in the, oh, you're in Kentucky. Fantastic. My partner actually grew up the very first years of his life in Kentucky. Welcome. I know Keisha is out in California. So, but back to this. Fountain pens are very, very fun. I do have, Keisha, I did ink or test all of my inks. It ended up being a two-part video because my camera died because I have so many inks. I think I have a real problem. Uh, but I actually went through and swatched all of my inks on these cute, I got these cute little cards. The Smile Cat swatch cards, and they have this resistive material in the form of a cat smile. And so I inked all of these on camera. But this is my ink collection right here. So again, I do probably have a problem, but it's fun problem. So, and these cards are so fun. I think I forget where I got them, but I did put the link in the ink swatching video. So if that is something that you're interested in, go make sure you go check that out. Yeah, the feather dip pen is something fun and really inexpensive from Amazon. So I do like that for testing out the inks. That it makes me feel all old-fashioned and fun. I think I'm fairly well done. I'm gonna put a little, maybe a couple little fall stickers in the annual book. So I keep my sticker collection. I haven't done a big sticker collection video yet because it's so massive, and I feel it feels very daunting. Yeah, that's what these are, the Wearingeul cat swatches. I put the link in the in the video description when I inked out all of these for this particular set. It's very cute. It wasn't very expensive, $6.25 for 50 of them. I ended up getting 2 sets, and I don't think I quite used a full set. But yeah, I keep my stickers organized. I have 2 volumes of kind of everyday stickers, and I have the weekly kits in one, and then I have, this is my annual, seasonal, and holidays. So anything in here, like in the front, this is tabs and the days of the month, holidays. These coordinate with the Coffee Monster Co. colors for this year, I think. Might have been last year too. Some of her, these are the large doodles that coordinate with the monthlies. And then I have each month. And I have for every month, because I've bought her monthly kits for 2 years now. So I have this year's kit here, but then I also have whatever's left over from last year's kit. And one of the things I found this year is that these really kind of coordinate fairly well together. And so I just kind of keep them all together. They don't work like that quite as well every single month, but they work pretty well. So whatever I have for January is in January. February, March, April, all that, all the way through. But I'm not going to use those right now. Then I have, this is all spring. This first divider is spring, summer, fall, and then just Halloween. Because again, Halloween, I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. So all the Halloween stuff is here in one place. And then winter and Christmas, all the Christmas stuff together. Um, that way, if I'm looking for things that are a particular theme, I can find them pretty easily. I don't know that I'm ready to go full on pumpkin, but maybe we could do a little. All right, so this is the autumn kit. Maybe we can just add a little weekend highlight there. Oh, and I didn't finish doing these. See, here's me getting all distracted talking about fountain pens. I love my fountain pens. I'm happy to talk about them anytime, but I forgot to finish putting the weather in. Let's see, we got 92.65. I'm almost there. And 90.63. So I tend to use my planners as kind of functional first and then add little decorative elements uh, that feel like they enhance the page. So this area, the weekend area, always when I'm doing my planning feels a little bit blank. You too? Yep, that's um, the weekend area to me always feels a little bit blank. So having something up here to kind of anchor it is kind of nice. So sometimes I'll put something up there. A lot of times I don't. You know, if you look back, you know, a lot of times there's nothing. Sometimes stickers, you know, it just really depends. And let's see what if there's any other cute little stickers that we want to get into this. Not really thinking Halloween yet. I'm thinking more autumny. Don't really have. Yeah, I feel like that would just be adding to add stickers. And I try to cut down just adding to add stickers. Here's that little coordinating pumpkin. Maybe we could find a place for that and maybe some leaves to live. And that'll kind of make me feel like I did a few cute things. Let's make the gym cute since I'm so resistive to going to the gym. Thank you, Teresa. I just kind of play around until I get something that makes me happy to look at. What I found is that I will look at this page more and pay more attention to it if it's pretty than I do if it's just the information. So I will come to this versus my Google just because I think it's pretty and I like it. Let's give her a little leaf as well in that corner. There we go. They kind of trickle across the page. I think that's about everything. Um, I may very well, I think we're gonna, actually, I'm gonna stick this in already because I think, well, no, I'm going to wait. I have these really cute, like kind of watching TV, reading a book, um, emojis. They're fall couch potatoes. So I think I'm gonna do a little potatoing on Monday and couch potatoing and sit and watch some, catch up on a little bit of TV. So part of me wants to put this in now, but then part of me is thinking I probably shouldn't, because if I put that in, inevitably I'm going to change my mind and I'll do something else on Monday. So I will just kind of remember that I have it and maybe put it in a little bit later. Oh, but look at this cute little out and about with the pumpkin latte. I could put that with the dinner and the groceries. There we go. That would be fun. All right. Now I have a little emoji on there, I think. I think that's all my brain was missing, was wanting another little emoji on here other than just, the 9/11 one. I do go through and put these little holidays on at the beginning of the planner. So when I'm first setting it up, so you'll notice a lot of times that those are already done. And that's why they've been done from the beginning. Um, I always put in those, and then because Sterling Ink's week was so faint, I always put in the week too ahead of time. And so I did that all the way through as well. The first time I did it all the way through as part of my setup, I did it to see if that would bulk up this area too much, because sometimes when you put stickers in the same spot, it bulks up your planner and it gets real thick and heavy. And so I wanted to see if that would be the case. um, oh, I really hope the channel keeps going and growing. I would love that. Um, I really enjoy doing this. I mean, I've been doing this for years and years and years without anybody watching. So, um, and I found it fun to have somebody to share it with, that, to have people that enjoy doing the same thing and have people to chat about it with. It's great. So, um, but yeah, I'd like to have some things in there ahead of time that I don't necessarily have to pull out all the time. Um, I think because next year, so I did get the plans for 2026. This is the 2025 that I got to play with to see if I would like it. I do not like the tabs the way I did them here, but that was a choice. But the weeks in here are very clear. The writing is darker, and I can see that this is week 38, so I don't think I will need stickers for this one. So we're switching things up a little bit next year. I have loved my Sterling ink for a long time, but I'm excited to try something a little bit different. The main thing that I like about this one, I did a whole video on this, so I'm not going to go through the whole through the whole thing again. But one of the things I really, really like is that you have this vertical week, and then right after you have a blank page and then a page for every day. And I have really missed having a page for every day. I use them kind of the same way I use the blank pages in the Sterling ink, but I find myself censoring myself a lot more with Sterling ink because I'm always afraid that I'm going to run out of pages. So I will look at this and go, oh my gosh, I'm already on page 81 and it's only September 7th and I'm going to run out of pages. And so I know I'm not. I know that that's, just in my head, but because it's in my head, I'm always worried about it. Um, Keisha, I love that you can join me for these too. That's awesome. I know it's really early for you over there on the West Coast, so I appreciate you getting up and um, hanging out with me on Sunday morning. That's awesome. Um, oh, you're in plans. Fantastic. Yeah, this is, I've played around with it a little bit. So let's see. I did this week in it. I was kind of setting it up the way I normally do. And then I did one with just markers for last week. And then I took some little notes up here. So it gets a little messy right now, with the way it is. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to lay this out. And this was a great page to just play on. Um, by the way, the Doobie Brothers concert was very, very fun. I had no idea that the opening band was going to be the Coral Reefers, so Jimmy Buffett's old band, and that was great. I'm showing my age, I'm sure, but I played Jimmy Buffett all the time for my kids when they were little. Um, yeah, just scribble is what I got for next year. So this is the 2025 that I got to kind of play around in by just scribble. And I did a whole video about I was so excited when I got it to play with it. Um, and I have been kind of playing with it a little bit, done some setting up the months and seeing how I like the months. Um, little work on trying to figure out how I want to use some of these various pages. Um, so yeah, the DB Brothers were very, very fun. And then the Coral Reefers were actually a little bit better, even. Um, so it was a great night, lots of fun. That was my partner's work gave us those. I mean, did some brainstorming in here. I've played around a little bit of how I want to like maybe script a video. Um, I was looking at my um, figuring out my book lists for the readathon, stuff like that. Uh, these are things that I don't necessarily need to keep because I took that and turned it into, if you were with me on that one, I turned it into this list here. So I don't necessarily need to keep this. So I tend to use books that I'm not going to hold on to, that I'm testing out for all the things like that, where I'm trying to figure out what I want it to look like, and then it can go in here and look all cute and pretty. And then this is what I will keep on my shelf for years to come. But for next year, I will be the in a just scribble plans. I ended up getting two sets. So I have the vertical set that I'll use for my everyday planner, and then I got a horizontal one that I will use for YouTube. So I did, I have played around a little with the horizontal format, and I do like that for planning YouTube. So it'll be nice to be able to plan all my videos and then have pages where I can script everything. So I have a whole planner dedicated to keeping this YouTube channel going. So I definitely plan to see all of you guys for a while now. Um, but we have gone about an hour, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. I think I'm happy with this for the week. So this is where we're at. I want to thank you guys for joining, and oh, thank you, Teresa. My Sterling ink is really a nice book. I like Sterling ink a lot. I don't ever, really want to poo-poo on a planner company that puts out a really good product, because the Sterling ink has been a fantastic book. My biggest complaint with it is the fact that it doesn't have dated dailies. And that is one thing that I find personally I'm missing. A lot of people like that it doesn't have dated dailies. So for me, when I do stuff like this, if it has a date on here, I'll either just white it out, or I will put a little washi over it, or I'll just leave it as part of the spread. So I don't really mind having the dates. Um, when I had my Hobonichi, that one had dates, And let me see if I can grab my very first, my first foray into Japanese planning. I would use kind of this as a task list. I don't do that so much anymore. It would be more of an Alistair. But like if I were, for this day, I went paddleboarding and I just put a little piece of washi over and then drew the river and added some pictures. I put some stickers over the day here, but I found that I was, with the Hobonichi, I was always trying to cover the quotes. So, oh, bye, Keisha. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate having you here. It's great to see you. And definitely more future YouTube videos. But yeah, so I don't necessarily mind having the date. I can cover it up. So, yeah, the sterling ink I have found to be really, really nice. I do like the blank pages. I like that they're numbered because I do always have an index. So this is my index for this year. So when I was in the Hobonichi, I used the very front. I don't know what's there may be some things in here that I've written that I didn't intend for anybody to see, but basically I indexed here in the Hobonichi and categorized it, so I can really quickly find a lot of these things that I've written about. And I do have that in the sterling ink too, but then I have to set it up myself. So it's fine. I don't dislike the sterling ink at all. It's been a great planner. I may go back to it. I may find that I miss having undated pages. But for right now, I find myself really, really missing and wishing I had dated pages. So um, I'm constantly trying to get things out of my brain and into a book or paper or something like that so I can just let my mind quiet and relax. So Teresa, what looks like organization is really just trying to corral the chaos that is in my mind onto a page. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up here for today. I really appreciate you joining me. It was so much fun to have people to talk to while I did do this. I really love that. It's become a fun Sunday morning tradition now. So thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. I will talk to you guys later.